moved on early enough to get seats. The rest of you keep sipping sketchily in the corner. All right, just a little bit. You're cheap because everybody, I mean, this is your good side, we know. Dearly beloveds, we're gathered here on this day in the sight of the assembled company to witness the exchange of marriage vows between Ed and Jessica. This is a truly momentous occasion. We're all deeply honored to be a part of it. We're thankful to share in this fellowship today, and especially thrilled that Jessica took off work today. Thank you. Miracles abound. The story, if you don't know, of this joyous couple begins the way all the very best postmodern romances do. The most passionate and enduring relationships in history, they begin with me. That's right. Well, there we were on the misty, hallowed shores of Lake Bunyoni in southwesternmost Uganda. That we had an HIV awareness concert series, and I had the great privilege and pleasure of introducing the big cheese head honcho of Odyssey House, then my own personal friend, mentor, and employer, to a certain, raise your hand if you've ever been fired. I mean, worked for Ed Yeah, so there it goes. And I introduced him to a certain assistant chief medical officer who, despite running a fever and exhibiting what we'll call unmentionable symptoms, still managed to charm an entire continent, Ed included. Jessica would later confess that she was initially intimidated by Ed's reputation, for it did indeed precede him. I mean, his resume is really astonishing. Many of you may not know this, but he once worked for the Charles and Helen Shaw. Yes, it's true. Yes, indeed. He was bold, important, more than a little dangerous. But in time, she saw more than a gifted, forward-thinking leader. She saw the lovable goofball who made her laugh more than anyone else ever had. A man who once told her in all seriousness he had studied massage therapy and still lived the plant-based diet. Cows eat plants, the base, hey, come on, there's something there. Over time, they formed a friendship. Long, dusty rides across East Africa, trading stories and flirting across bus aisles and borders, building a bond over years until finally the stars and more than a few cocktails aligned. And it was that fateful moment when Ed received a text message summoning him to the Golden Lantern. Now, for historical accuracy purposes, I have to inform you all, he was not texted by Jessica. He was texted by her alter ego, Frankie, in full force. So, when Ed arrived at the lantern, Frankie grinned, locked eyes, and declared in a voice from the underworld, "I will crush your soul." Ed replied, "I'm a little scared," and a lot turned on. And so began a kind of romance that pandemics can't hold back. The kind when you spend endless hours playing with dogs, zooming with friends, drinking White Claw, watching Tiger King, and laughing, cohabitating through COVID, finding joy even as the rest of the world seems to crumble and burn. The marvelous adventure-fueled friendship blossomed into a magnificent globe-trotting romance. They sailed through the Caribbean islands, an unmoored jungle cruise in Brazil, circumambulated the Black Madonna in Częstochowa, Poland, feasted on caviar in Copenhagen, and danced under the stars in Greece. And then it was in December 2022 when I, as their spiritual advisor, guided them to the ancient city of Varanasi, India, a corner of the cosmos that is beyond time and space. And there, in that holiest of Hindu cities, as the sun rose over the sacred Ganges, Ed presented a ruby ring and asked Jessica if she would sign a prenup. She said yes. It's not ooh, it's true. From the very first moment he met you, Jessica, you were fearless, dancing with your people, the pygmies, hiking up hills in search of a witch doctor, directing a battalion of young nursing students you just met into life-saving action. Ed sees you as you truly are, spunky, sexy, whip-smart, and delightfully unpredictable. He loves how you complain about work. Really. Tough crowd over there. He loves the way you play with your hair, the way you make him think, how you always bring him back to what matters. You are indeed his best friend, his mirror, and his muse. His co-conspirator in joy and glitter and absurd adventure. Ed truly adores spending time with you, and all he wants to do is make you happy and laugh. The little things that he gets to do for you bring sincere pleasure. Breakfast in the morning, tidying up the house. He loves wearing that French maid outfit you got for him. You've seen it, okay. Who invited her? According to Ed's 3 noble truths, the Buddha had 4, but we're on a budget, non-profit work. There's only one thing that you can't buy, stop, or change, and that is time. So one must live in the moment at every moment. Our time on this earth could be long, could be short, no one knows. But he just wants to spend every single one of them that he has with you, Jessica. And Jessica says she's never imagined a life quite like this. Certainly never thought that she even deserved it. But you have taught her how to love, how to trust, how to feel love, and how to love better in return. You've shown her what it means to care, truly, deeply, and without hesitation. She says she'll slather your chest with sticky glitter from mom's ball. She will trim your Viking locks weekly until the end of time. She will eat fish with fangs beside you and let mysterious jungle shamans blow God knows what up her nose again as long as you are with her. She'll even maybe sail across the sea with you or ride shotgun in one of those antique vehicles that you collect. That is a hard maybe. You have welcomed her with open arms into your crazy Carlson clan. How many Carlsons we got here today? Oh my God, and they even put on shirts for the occasion. It's cleaned up good. Amazing. And you have made such an effort to forge relationships with her own kooky tribe. And that means the world to her. More than anything, Jessica says that there is no other person that she wants to dream alongside of for the rest of her life. Because life with you isn't just about building a future, it's about building a dream world. And your confidence moves the masses. Sure, they may end up marching off a cliff, but they will fall with a smile. And she'll be right there with you. Now you two have experienced so much already. You've already built a home and a life together, so why bother marry and exchange vows? Oh wait, you already did. That's right, folks. The big reveal right now. These folks have been legally married for months. Over a year, they signed on the dotted line. That's right. They weren't living in sin. They were doing this in front of God and the governor. Their love was so passionate, they took it to the Office of Vital Statistics. Which means that this wedding today is really in large part about you. To see exactly what this is all about, what the relationship was that built us to this point, and what the future is going to be. They've already signed that paperwork, and there's nothing to do today but celebrate. This wedding is an invocation of peace, and connection, and joy, and bliss. Good wishes flow from family and friends on wings and prayers, and everything else that might turn out to be holy in the universe. Flying in from across the country and around the world. We've got people from Honduras, Argentina, India, Chalmette. There he is. To celebrate all the people who have made them who they are, whose influences on their lives led them to meet and to fall in love. They are having a wedding for all of you that remind them on a daily basis, through your actions, how lucky they are. And it is important because it will change you, Jessica and Ed. While much of your lives will nominally be the same after today, you will not be. You will be openly husband and wife. Happy Pride. The magical and mystical transubstantiation of your very beings will carry you to dizzying heights and bliss all around the world, from the banks of the Nile, the Ganges, the Amazon, the Mississippi, to living that salt life on the Weber Ray, on Lake Pontchartrain. Pontchartrain, can't believe I mispronounced that. I'm local, damn it. And pleasant afternoons on the balcony of your French Quarter condo. Yes, your condo, sorry, fellas. The world has always been and shall remain the canvas upon which you paint your exciting lives and your loving adventures. All that and more begins right now. Do you, Jessica, take Ed to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold in 60